Greetings. I'm Elder Blacklight, Brother Blacklight. This is Allah's 24/7 God Zone. How we roll is, we just keep it simple, keep it plain, come at you. And I always want you to know, I haven't showed you this in a while, some of my new subscribers, that this is my mother's book, her registration book or donation book, Temple Number 1, Detroit, Michigan. She knew Malcolm, my uncle, my grandmother knew Malcolm, all his, brothers and family. That's all I want you to know for right now. I want to get into this subject matter of how to beat the beast. See, in Detroit, we had beat the beast, pushed him out, and was controlling our city. We weren't cognizant of, we weren't cognizant of what we were doing at that time. We didn't know that Allah had gave us a 20-year window to rule ourselves. But evidently, it was not time for us to rule ourselves at that time. That was just a preview on how it would be if we was to rule ourselves. But we still was attached to the system politically. And we still depended on the system to a degree. But at that point in time, the Nation of Islam, they was running a 60, put it like this, a multi-million-dollar operation. I don't want to call it a business. I don't want to call it nothing else but an operation. A nation within a nation. In Detroit and throughout the United States. This was during a period, I say 68, right after the so-called riots, up until about maybe the 80s, when the support for Mayor Coleman Young started getting weak because the Boulay brothers and sisters was pushing them out. Now, I'm going to go back to when I first moved over there on Wildermere in 1956. I was 11 years old, approximately 10. I was 10 years old. Yeah, I was 10 years old. It was in the summertime. And I think my birthday might have been coming up, but I was 10. And when I moved over there, it was mostly Caucasians over there. They was controlling all the retail. Now, Finkel runs into 12th, which is now Rosa Parks Boulevard. You go take that Finkel bus going downtown, it'll go down 14th. On the way back, it'll go down 12th Street or Rosa Parks Boulevard. And then it turns off like a curve light in its Finkel. Finkel was really 5 Mile. Now 5 Mile, then 6 Mile, 7 Mile, then 8 Mile. All that area, you know, you could, when we were young, we just walked that whole area, you know. But keep in mind it was Caucasian territory. The schools that were predominantly white over in that particular region were Mumford, Post Junior High, Mumford, Cooley, McKenzie, Redford. All of them were mostly white schools, Caucasian. So, aka artificial. But anyway, they didn't want us over there. And they had little hot rod gangs, white little hot rod gangs, motorcycle gang, big motorcycle gang called the Highwaymen. You know, now the Highwaymen were older. You know, they worked over in that area. They had Cook Paint Factory that they worked at. They had another factory, little factories over there. Hires Root Beer, and Verner's Pop factories were over there. It was right off the railroad tracks, you know, and all up and down that area was white people. They started beating us up when we went to school. But these brothers and sisters were like the 300 Spartans. You know, it was a little bit of us. We was younger. I ain't going to go through all the details, but they pushed us back. I mean, we pushed them back across Grand River, eventually across Telegraph, and out in the Southfield and Oak Park. Now, brothers is out there now. They out in Southfield, they out in Oak Park, they out in Redford. You know, we just keep expanding. So, the police was their main unit, but they couldn't handle us. I mean, the Ku Klux Klan was over there too. You know, now you would think that the Ku Klux Klan and the Jews didn't get along. I don't know about that, because when a black family moved across the street from Post Junior High around 59 or something like that, 58, 59, the Klan burnt the cross. Now, it could have been the Jews posing as the Klan, but they burnt the cross on their lawn. That's when the little mini riot jumped off with us, the teenagers, against the white teenagers. We beat them down, but their daddies was the police. The same situation happened to my cousin and his brothers maybe about 10 years later at Cody High School over there on Joy Road. And my cousin and them was living on Warwick. And eventually that school became all black. Now the reason why the riot was jumping off, because see, the Jews had 12th Street locked down. All 12th Street, Woodward and all that was, and Finkel, all in that area was the Jews had wholesale houses and retail houses. And brothers was hustling because there was a lot of money circulating. And the brothers started mostly controlling that area over there, and the police couldn't handle it. They had the Big Four at that time. So they couldn't handle the activities of the black man during that time, see. So they created a special unit of police called Stress. Uh, and Stress were made up of Vietnam veterans who still had that war stuff in them. You know, they wanted to kill anything dark, anything black. And that's what jumped the riots off. Because they started misusing our women, breaking into houses. Same thing they doing now, raiding houses, raiding the wrong house, stopping cars. You know, if a guy had a Cadillac or something, a brand new car, they'll just stop his car for no reason and tear out all his interior, tear up his trunk or whatever, looking for narcotics or something. And see, around that time, around 67, 68, 69, that's when they was bringing in the drugs. So we rebelled, and then the police couldn't handle us, and they sent in the Army or the National Guard. The National Guard couldn't handle us, so they sent in the Army. Now, they don't want to show you this and tell you this, but brothers was sniping the police, the Army. The police couldn't handle us, so they had to get the Army. The Army couldn't handle us, so then they brought in the tanks. But let me tell you what happened on the next video. It's a black light. New Year's, you got some money in your pocket on New Year's. That's when the year ends and you got some little paper. Hold on to it. In the beginning of the next year, you're gonna have some money. Don't blow it all, getting high, shooting up your neighborhoods. This is black light.